bed is behind me, and I just, I did the whole residency.
It's so awesome that we have the option to do that. Okay.
And I just thought, like, it's probably a good idea for me to hide my bed.
When was the residency?
In a professional capacity. It was April 18th to 25th.
Okay, because that was my first line of course of question. Since you do a semi-annual residency, I didn't remember the timing. I was there for one of them, and it was actually still snowing.
Oh, wait a second! I forgot about that.
Were you here?
Yes. Now I remember.
Did we talk?
I don't know. I wasn't the chair. Laura Colella was the chair.
Yes, that's right.
But yeah, I remember. Okay, that's so funny. I did not.
Oh, it's a while ago. Good 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. Something
Oh,
like
really? Oh, wow. Okay. So right at the beginning. Almost at the beginning.
I don't know. Anyway,
it's been 6 years, I think, so far.
Maybe it could have been 6 years ago.
Or 6.5.
My kid was a lot smaller, and he was frustrated that it was snowing because, the winter just ended, and we were looking forward to being outside a lot.
Oh, he was with you?
Yeah, I brought him up. They gave us a house and everything. It was really just unbelievable.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I think they normally would have been a student housing or something, or something, I don't know, something like that. But because of my bringing my son, there was some sort of issue about, I guess insurance-wise or whatever, legal.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Being in that kind of environment. So they put us in a very nice house.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I had a really nice time. And I ended up, I did a podcast episode up there with a few of the guys up there.
Oh, wow.
Laura. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. That's awesome.
So I hit record more just for reference. Filmmaker Magazine, just, this is not technically on the record per se. I just want to gather information. So,
right.
And because I have I've actually had a relationship with the college over the years. They were a sponsor on the podcast even as recently as 2019, I think. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Which is that's Filmwax, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But you just also do freelance stuff like for Filmmaker Magazine? Well,
podcast doesn't really pay that. If I could get, if I could get VCFA on my podcast every episode, then maybe I could relax more. Unfortunately, that doesn't serve them any better. Rather, wouldn't serve their purposes just to do that year round. I don't think. Maybe
it would be great if you could get us on there every time. We'll take it.
I would listen. I think I was doing that anyway, and I kept like a banner ad on my website for years.
That's nice.
I'm a big advocate of the program of the school.
It's turned out. I mean, it's so good. I can't even tell you. Like, I am just amazed at how good it is.
I could just do my podcast with the faculty. I'd be perfectly happy.
Oh.
Like
right so now, sweet. Yeah.
I would say, oh my God, Luis Guzman and.
Yeah. He texted me Happy Mother's Day in Spanish yesterday.
Oh,
well, I'm glad you mentioned him. I didn't respond. I need to respond.
I was going to email him at his VCFA email and just say, look, I brought on.
You could talk to him. Would you want to?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. I'll text, give me your cell and I'll text you two together. That's the best way to get him.
Oh, sure. I'll put it in the chat here. Wait, I texted you just before.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
So you right. Yeah. If you want, I can.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess you want to give me your cell phone. Just have everybody's cell phone. I have like the Rolodex. Well, So what it is, let me just tell you very briefly. So Filmmaker Magazine every summer has a film school edition. And it's, the heart of it is, it's like a little catalog, essentially. It's like, it just tells people a certain number of little factoids, about each school that they include. And it's, how many? I'm guessing around 30 schools or something. The VCFA has been involved or included, I should say, for the last, couple of times they've done it. This is, I think, the third one now we're doing, or fourth. I've just been brought in for the first time to kind of edit it. And of course, a big component this particular issue is going to be what is film school going to look like
Yeah.
in the near future? So a lot of schools are formulating that, although since it happened during the spring semester, some schools actually have some ideas of how to make it work because they had to put it in practice pretty immediately. So that's what I'm just really trying to get the plan. And you're texting Luis and myself?
No, I just my baby daddy is a Trader Joe, and I'm trying to, and he's got the antibody, so I'm trying to get as many groceries as I can. Where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm actually in Queens. I'm here for another couple of months at the most. I have to clear out. It's actually not my apartment. It was my father.
Where are you going to go?
The plan is to go to Los Angeles for a few months through the summer, if everything lines up. Because and honestly, my kid who lives with me here is going there in a few days, and my plan is to try to find out from his mother, who's in LA right now, but she's planning on coming back in the fall. I'm going to try to talk her out of that. It won't go over well with my kid, but I'm just not sure why we'd want to be in New York City for round 2 of this.
Yeah.
Given a choice.
Yeah. I'm in a pretty down mood about the whole thing right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know.
It kind of comes and goes, but today is a bad day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know, it's very true. The anxiety it brings up is, it's unfortunate. Are you in New York City right now?
Yeah, in Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like the stories of all the misery out there. It just gets to you sometimes,
Yeah. Well, it would be a lot easier if we had, leadership.
Right. Well, then we have
good leadership. Any leadership. I mean, we have local leadership.
But yeah, it does make it really demoralizing.
It does. Yeah, I think it would be a lot.
Not have, just the whole thing is it's terrible. It's so bad.
Right. So
homeschooling is a nightmare. Are you doing that?
Yeah. Well, I think my kid might be older than yours, though. It gets a little easier when they're older.
Mine is 11.
Yeah, it's still hard at 11. My kid is turning 16 in a few days.
I mean, if I don't force him stand there, I have to stand. It's just nothing.
Where did you go to school?
In Borum Hill. It's called the Borum Hill School. It's just like a public middle school.
Okay. Yeah, my son goes to Brooklyn High School of the Arts, which is a few blocks away, and his half sister, who is not my daughter, goes to a school in Borum Hill as well. She goes to PS 369, is it? 269, 369? It's on Pacific.
Oh, 261?
Is it
how old?
On between Smith and Bond, I guess, is the next block.
It's either 38 or 261.
Maybe 261. Yeah. They have a school.
What's her name?
Kidding. What?
What's her name?
Lena.
And how old is she?
She's turning 11 in September, I think. No, 11 in September. So she's 10, I think. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway, her dad lives, in Prospect Heights. So it's a very complicated situation right now in terms of where. So I'm in a transitional area. My dad just passed away. I have both my parents to worry about here, and my mom I can't even see her. She's in a nursing home. She's very advanced dementia. And I don't know when the day will come when they let us back in, because that's the most vulnerable of all the communities. No,
it's the worst.
Is the elderly in these nursing homes. So it's not even my mother that is the issue. It's just going in there. Bringing anybody if they're not. I don't know.
It's a nightmare.
People come in and be, where there's so many old people that are so already.
So sad.
So
How did your dad die? He didn't die of COVID, did he?
No, but he had it. Both my parents got it. And
really?
Yeah, my mom kicked its ass right away. She managed to.
Both your parents? What the fuck?
Well, they're both in nursing homes at the time. separate ones.
Right.
My dad was supposedly in rehab, but he wasn't.
So he did not die of it, but he died of something. What did he die of?
He had a number of problems. He was in septic shock. He had been going through a number of bacterial infections. So while it may have contributed to his demise, it wasn't real. I think he would have died anyway, even without it.
Right. Okay, that helps. But that also means you couldn't be with him, though, right?
Well, yeah. The first night he was hospitalized, they didn't expect him to make it through the night. They invited me to the hospital to see him, which was in Manhasset, Long Island. And so I actually did end up going. And then he lived another 4 or 5 days, actually. But he wasn't conscious when I was with him. So, it's like just a sad
But
story.
did you get it?
No. I mean, I don't think so.
Right.
My son and I have been completely asymptomatic and almost entirely quarantined for the last 7 weeks. So
Yeah.
we have had absolutely no symptoms or anything. I've been extremely cautious. And he's isolated quite well for a 16-year-old,
Yeah. Oh my
So at least
God,
when he goes to
it's
LA,
so
he'll have
hard.
a backyard. He'll have, he's not an outdoorsy kid typically, but he will. At least in LA, he'll be able to sit outside if he wants.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's the whole situation right now. You have one child.
Yeah.
What's their name?
Jasper.
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 Oh, Jasper.
He's playing the piano right now.
Oh, I
As
thought
a
it
matter of
was a truck.
And I have a gay baby daddy, who gave me his sperm, and I made a film about it on HBO called First Comes Love.
Is there more than one innuendo in that title, or? I don't know. Anyway.
There is a lot of innuendo. And
when did that come out?
don't remind me, 2013.
All right. Hey, look.
And he had COVID, and I took care of him for 17 days. He was in Jasper's bedroom, locked in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was he obviously? But that's but he wasn't needed to be hospitalized.
No, it was long and brutal, but that did not happen.
Oy.
I looked at a house yesterday, and the realtor had it, and her sister had it. I just talked to my friend Jimmy, who had it. His mom had it. His stepfather died of it. His daughter has the antibodies. I mean, I don't understand how these viruses manage to spread so fast. Like, I just can't even get that through my head.
They're viral.
But how? Like, how do they do it? I mean, I just don't understand. It's like,
supposedly is like, you have to be like in close proximity over a period of time. That's the way the majority of people are getting it. It's not the very, very few people, if any, have gotten it because they touched a doorknob. Although, it's possible, conceivable, you touch a doorknob, you touch your face. But most people, the way it's been spreading is, they say, is mostly through a prolonged or, substantial amount of close interaction with somebody. Like
right. And yet, here comes
the subway. The subway.
This is the co-star of my life.
The co-star.
He's not the co-star. Sorry, he's the star. I'm just the co-star.
Jasper, are you going to go for a swim behind you?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be nice?
All right, now do reading,
Mommy,
sweetie.
let me take a break.
No. Oh my God, everything is a break.
What is he?
Next, he's going to be taking a break from a break.
What piece was he practicing, though?
What were you playing, sweetie?
A bunch of stuff.
Okay, you have to write in the notebook,
Mama.
and you have to start reading.
Mommy.
You have to do your reading. You can keep delaying if you want, then we won't be able to have fun tonight.
Not the writing in the notebook, just...
You have to do both.
I don't have to do this. It's my piano, not yours.
Well, it sounds like, 16, my kid is so willful and so combative.
No, it's...
His mother calls me, like, yelling at me because my son did almost nothing for Mother's Day. He's like, I'm just tired of it. Like, his mom turned 50 a few weeks ago, and I had to end up doing it all because he just won't get his act together around it. Yet he...
So you had to buy something for your ex-wife. That must have hurt.
Oh, no, well, she does that for me. And yeah, I couldn't just get her a card, I had to buy her.
I'm confused. How is she, the father is in Prospect Heights, but she's in LA? Like,
she's
I
not
don't know.
married to the second one either.
Wait, was she married to you?
Yes.
Oh,
She was married to me. We divorced in 2000. We split up in 2006, and then she ended up with another guy a few years later. Had another child about 5 years after my son. Then they didn't last for they lasted a couple of years or so, and then she never married that guy.
Okay, what's wrong with her?
She's an actor.
Famous? Sorry.
Yes and no. Yes, she's done Broadway. She's on a TV series.
So, do you hate her?
I have no hate in my heart.
Do you?
I only hate Hitler.
No, honestly, do you have resentment or no?
No, I don't have any about a failed marriage.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time.
But does that bother you, the wasted time?
No, it doesn't bother me. I have some regrets, I guess, but I don't dwell on. I try not to dwell too much on it. So, yeah, no. And I moved on. I lived with another woman after that, and then I was really in love with somebody else after that. So it's not.
And then what happened?
I'm the problem, I guess. Maybe
you're gonna have to delete this whole thing.
Yeah, right. This is your podcast. Episode 1.
I'm interviewing you. It's true.
Yeah.
No, but some of my
middle-aged men. It's this is
some of my questions.
All documentary filmmakers should do podcasts but really low. What's concept podcasts? Like, in other words, like an interview show is so easy to do because I don't have to script it. I don't have to do fancy production values. I can do it out of my apartment. I'm Zooming with people like this.
Listen, I started
of quick accomplishment and finish.
I know.
Like, you don't have to feel bad that it's taking years to get another project off the ground and then years to get it, done. I mean, it's just the life of a documentary filmmaker,
Okay, you're rubbing salt in the wound, Adam. I know.
Doug Block and Alan Berliner and Barbara Kopp, all these people that are, have deals with HBO and whatever. They don't, Barbara Kopp is not a good example because she's just probably in the space of the Zoom call, she probably made 2 documentaries. But
it's brutal. I started a podcast with a friend. And we have a lot of really good stuff, and we pitch it to Audible, and then it's just so complicated and
you're
wacky.
Doing it more. Yeah, you're doing it, like taking it. See, when I started my podcast,
it was too hard. I should have picked an easier topic.
Oh, but see, when I started my podcast, there wasn't really it wasn't a thing yet. So
I see.
It was I started. It was actually an internet radio show. And so there were very few. I had a hard time finding somebody to give me some support about just feedback about how to, get certain technical things done. Like nobody knew, I had to go through people, finally found somebody who did a podcast. Now I could literally walk out my front door here to my neighbor and I'll probably interrupt them doing their podcast. So, so it's very easy now. Everybody knows how to do it. Literally everybody's talking about everybody. It's become,
I'm putting jewelry on, Adam, while we talk. I just thought I might as well beautify. It can't hurt, okay?
So do you have another rather documentary concept or
No, I'm incredibly depressed about the whole thing. Because I always,
you could be the first coronavirus.
I mean, I was always making a film before, but then after being a single parent, I just haven't been able to do it psychologically.
So
I'm just too worn out all the time.
And baby daddy is not.
He, just helped me. Like, I mean, it's all in First Comes Love in my film.
Did you see that?
But basically, he does help some, but like I save him kind of for emergencies.
Gotcha.
I mean, he actually helped me a lot recently. It was a big deal, and I was just starting to feel like, oh, maybe I can do something again when this all happened, because my son was in the Broadway tour of Les Miserables. He was Gavroche. And so we were on tour for 6 months.
Your son was in the touring company of Les Mis?
Yeah. And so baby daddy filled in for me for some of the tour because I got a job. I developed this TV show in Austin. I'm not getting credit for developing, but that I did in fact develop for Rick Linklater. And so I was like actually working, and he was taking over for me. And I was like, oh my God, maybe we can do more of this now, and I can start making a film. And then this fucking pandemic from hell started.
I know. I was about to start my first short film ever. I was going to direct.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can still do it.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
No. There's no reason to. I have I mean, even if I go to LA, I could just do it there, I suppose. But I have one of my sources for money is here, so I really have to do it here. Like like the guy's giving me a lot of the seed money is he's in the film, so I can't not do it. I have to have him in.
Right.
So I would have to come back and do the film when it's yeah. Anyway, whew. Yeah. So I don't know that. So since I have this opportunity to leave New York, I may for this at least for a while. So we'll see what happens. Just.
I mean,
I don't think I could do another quarantine here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean, I'm actually part of why I'm in a bad mood today is that, oh wow, it's gorgeous out. Is that I was thinking like, all right, I'll just go to France. Fuck this, I'll go to France because Jasper's learning French and I speak French. But then my friend who's a professor at Yale said that they have this exchange with the École Normale, and that France called him like yesterday and was like, it's canceled. We're not sending anyone. So he thinks that there's no way I could go. So I'm like, I can't, with no outdoor space. Like right now I'm looking at my downstairs neighbor's beautiful garden, but guess what? I can't go there because I don't have a fucking garden. Okay. I have nothing.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah.
So, and then the other thing is like Jasper's only been in school for 1 month the whole year because of Les Mis, and then he was back in school finally for a month, and then COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he supposedly had tutoring on and Les Mis, and supposedly has school now, but it's like I don't know if he has. I mean, I have no idea what's going on. I cannot figure it out. It's so complicated and disorganized that I just have given up, and I just make him do certain things that I decide he should do, and I just don't even, whatever the fuck is going on at school, if anything, I just ignore. I can't handle it anymore. Piano, French, and reading. I at least make sure that happens every day.
Very, very old school. It sounds like my childhood.
Yeah, I am sort of recreating the whole like take a lesson in everything thing of my childhood.
That's good because Jacob he's in his room gaming when he's not doing his schoolwork. All he does is gaming or on his phone with his friends, and there's no other value add. Hobby.
But does that freak you out?
No.
Why not?
It's temporary.
Okay. See, I think if it weren't for Jasper having this Broadway thing, I would be like freaking the fuck out.
Well, this Broadway thing, it's kind of big deal.
Well, he hasn't actually gotten on Broadway. He almost got cast in The Music Man, and it was down to 3 and he didn't get it.
Was he aware of that?
Yes.
Was that a disappointment to him? Big disappointment? Did he
basically when he doesn't get something, he just screams a bunch of 4-letter words, and then he's over it.
Does he know how childish that is? Does he know the president does that?
So it is not taking it's definitely good for him. It's not bad for him so far.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So what was the residency? What did they end up doing?
Well, so it was a huge. So I basically organized the whole thing.
Sure.
I mean, there is a program director also at VCFA.
Who's that?
But she's going to be replaced. Okay. So I don't know who it's going to be. Mm-hmm. But so, and then someone had just left before that. So I kind of had to do everything, but also in conjunction with Laura, because she was giving me advice because I'd never been the chair before.
Sure.
So it was all Zoom and it was packed. I packed the schedule with a ton of amazing guests because I just thought I wanted to compensate for the fact that they weren't getting the kind of in-person fun of Vermont.
Yeah. And
I also wanted to lure people who maybe I couldn't get under normal circumstances because they might not be willing to come to Vermont. Mm-hmm. So we normally have an opening night party. So instead of an opening night party, I decided we should have an opening night film. And so I had Hampton Fancher, who wrote Blade Runner.
I know who he is.
So he's a friend of a friend's, so it was easy to get to him.
That's another guy I was trying to reach out to.
Oh, okay. I can put you in touch with him.
You're the gal, because there was a documentary about him as well. Name?
Michael Almerida. Yeah, he came to VCFA also, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I run into him in the West Village, or rather the East Village, all the time.
Me too. I used to see that guy everywhere.
Yeah, but
I didn't know who he was. But I knew his face.
Apparently during the New York Film Festival press screenings.
So Hampton did a Q&A after the opening night film. And of course, Blade Runner was a great film to show right now. And we also had Darren Aronofsky show Pi. He's another person I know because we were in film school.
Lead actor did my show.
You mean Sean?
Yes.
Sean Gillette? Oh, cool. I had Sean Zoom bomb Darren.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I went to college with them, and Darren and I did film the same year at Harvard. So,
yeah.
But I didn't think he'd come to Vermont, but I thought he would do this, and he graciously said yes. So we showed Pi, and also because I want to start having directors show their first films. Not that Pi is the first film, but
yeah, there was a terrible festival. I keep thinking we're podcasting this, which, by the way, we should, because it's been a lot of entertaining thing, but I don't know how you feel about that. But
especially the part about your personal life.
Oh,
I do say so myself.
Do you know who the table was turned for sure the other day? I had on the documentary, it's I guess nonfiction filmmaker, Mark Cousins.
I know that name.
Yeah, you do. The Odyssey, the history of cinema. He does all those, and
right. The story of film.
Yeah.
The voice, the mesmerizing voice.
The guy. I fell in love with his voice.
He actually talks like that in real life, I've heard.
He does indeed. And then
how?
And then there's this shot of this child who's staring off into the sky. It's as though she's reached through the camera, and it's like he does.
Yeah.
Then he turned. We were talking for like 45 minutes, and then he just starts asking about me, and I'm not uncomfortable doing that with somebody I know, but with somebody I don't know, who I've also kind of built into this. I kind of had a crush on him because of that voice. You know,
the truth comes out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah. No, his voice. I just and I watched like 4 or 5 more of his films, in anticipation of his, because I try to do as much homework as I can. I'm getting Allison Anders on tomorrow.
Wait. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm blowing your mind.
I just watched 2 Andrea Arnold films.
Oh no, Andrea
And
did.
I know it's not. She's the, what do you call it? Gas, whatever.
Gas
food
food
lodging
lodging.
person. Yeah.
Right. Border Radio, and my favorite, Grace of My Heart, and then but Andrea Arnold, I did talk to years ago with Wuthering Heights.
Oh, should I see that? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. It's an audio.
I get it. I figured that out.
I know, but yeah, no.
I actually watched all of them.
It's a very artsy film. Where Fishbowl, what was it called? I can't remember. Anyway.
I just saw American Honey by mistake because I was trying to watch Honeyland, but I couldn't remember what Honeyland was called. And then I thought, but meanwhile, I had just watched her short Wasp. And while I was watching American Honey, I was like, I feel like this filmmaker has ripped off the filmmaker who made Wasp. And then at the end, I realized it was the same filmmaker. And coincidentally, I watched the two films in the same day, even though I was not even trying to watch that film. It was very strange.
Well, sloppy. It's kind of a interesting how it did as well as it did. I thought, that film.
It reminded me of Kids, which people loved, but I hated.
Which one?
It reminded me a little bit of Kids.
Yeah, sure.
Which people loved and I despised.
Yeah. Coming back to the once again to residency,
Yeah.
everything was done. You packed it with famous filmmakers, and
we had Tamra Jenkins, who showed Private Life and her shorts, or what she might have just shown one of her shorts, Family Remains. Tamra Jenkins.
Oh yeah.
Her first two short films are so good. I mean, absolutely love them.
Okay, yeah. Again,
and Catherine Hahn Zoom bombed. Thank you very much.
What?
Catherine Hahn Zoom bombed us.
Oh wow.
Yeah, speaking of having a crush.
That's understandable.
I mean,
very funny person.
And we had Terrence Nance is founding faculty. You probably met him.
Yeah, he's done the podcast a few times.
But he's been in LA kind of blowing up, although he had a project fall apart. But so we had him come in from LA to talk about Random Acts of Flyness. And also to show a short that he had made. And let's see, we had Allison McLean, who did the rehearsal, and her first short, Kitchen Sink, is totally brilliant. Brilliant. Like, amazing. Kitchen Sink. You got to watch it.
I will. I'm really grateful for all these recommendations.
And we have a new faculty member named Janixa Bravo. So she showed Lemon.
Oh, yeah, no, she did my podcast with Lemon.
Okay, and Brett came Zoom bombed.
Brett Gelman.
Because they're still friends and work together.
Oh, they were a couple then.
They were married, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they still do stuff together.
Oh, but they're not okay. I didn't realize they were.
Oh, and we had the American Factory people, Julia and Steve, who were the cutest. Everyone fell in love with them.
Yeah, I was chasing after them for the longest time. I mean, I'm not really worried about it anymore. And Jeffrey Reichert did my show, and with Freya some years ago. I'm kind of connected to everybody there. Josephine Decker and I did a film together.
Oh, cool. Which one?
Richard's Wedding. A long time ago.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
I'm not an actor, but I acted in this film. And then,
writing that down.
That's probably on iTunes, but I don't know if you'll like it.
She just had a baby, so.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. She and Malik, who also taught.
Right. Yeah. No, I know him. Yeah. It was. I didn't realize that they were expecting a baby. Oh wow, that's great.
And then, do you know about Adrienne Weiss, who does these workshops on directing actors?
No.
So we had her. We also had the casting director and cinematographer of the Wayne Wang movie Coming Home Again, which isn't out yet.
Oh, he's coming back with the film.
So Heidi Levitt was the casting director. She talked about casting, and then Rich Wong, who shot this TV show I worked on in Austin, talked about the cinematography.
Right.
Well,
now that you're on the podcast, you're going to get credit for that Linklater project. You're going to get backlash against Linklater. Also because he's never done my podcast, but I'm not asking you for that connection. If you can do this, Luis.
I can't help you with Linklater because guy.
I don't want him on the show.
I mean, it's not his fault that I didn't get any credit. It's someone else's fault.
Well, yes, people do those unpleasant.
I mean, he could have done something, but
no, I know.
But he's not the person who directly hired me, so.
I understand. But if you didn't do Hampton, Luis Guzman. What, do we say anybody else?
So Luis was on our faculty last semester. Mm-hmm. And because he lives in Montpelier.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we found him.
Not to be racist, but what is he doing?
It's not what you would expect, a guy from the Lower East Side.
Right. I remember him from Variety.
He just loves it. He loves Vermont. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah, no, I love it too. And
we had Guy Madden on the faculty last semester too.
I know all about that, yeah.
Oh my God, love that guy.
He's hysterical. He is hysterical. The wryest of all Canadians.
Love him.
Yeah,
love.
I know. I've met him, and he did the podcast. I'm very close friends with Michelle Negroponte, and he was telling me how he helped get Guy that position, that he helped maneuver, helped him, which was great. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I recommended Michelle.
Side connections, all my tentacles.
Yeah. How do you know Michelle?
Well, first of all, he's a regular on my podcast, although he hasn't. Has he been on in a while? Yeah, he was on recently. We went up to Camden last fall for his. He premiered his new documentary up there.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And who did his Q&A?
Who?
His mentor, Ross McElwee.
Ross is not his mentor. He's his colleague. They
made
films together. No, it's just that Ross is more famous.
What was the maestro saying?
They are contemporaries, but Ross is more famous. Did Daddy just arrive? No? Okay.
Let me take a break.
Sweetie, no more breaks. Go. No, you're taking breaks from breaks.
I just did
you don't need to take a break from reading. Reading is a break.
I finished reading.
Then go read more, okay?
What? I finished reading.
All right. Hey, Music Man.
No, he didn't get it. You got to call him Gavroche.
I know, but I was going to say that maybe it'll be a little bit of a, what's the word? When you have at least one good outcome of something is that he's on the podcast. Once you greenlight.
Good point. This is him as Gavroche, a drawing that someone did. Can you see it?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's a good likeness.
Sweetie, go. You have to do.
I finished reading. I need you for French, or I need the computer.
Okay. All right. Well, then you have to keep reading.
We'll be done in a couple of minutes.
Computer.
No, sweetie. No.
I'm not reading more.
Okay. Well, now you're not going to get Fortnite this weekend. Right now, I'm in a very professional meeting right now.
Professional.
And you are interrupting it. This guy, my entire future rides on what Adam thinks of me. Okay?
Well, my feelings are very positive because you have a precocious, talented child like that.
So Michelle.
Wow, they're the most ominous freaking cloud going over.
I know. I kind of love it.
No, wait. Is it so big that it's also over your neighborhood?
Actually, right now it's sort of normal, but earlier it was. Let me see.
It looks like I don't know if you can see.
Ooh, I love that.
Gray massive cloud is like going right over. It's almost
okay. Perfect. That summarizes the whole state of affairs we're in right now.
Yeah, but the apartment just is getting really dark.
So, no, but I just need you to understand that Ross is not Michelle's mentor.
I know, no, okay. But he did the Q&A and it was lovely. And Michelle, but I knew Michelle, we drove it was insane that we drove up to Camden from New York. It's like a day-long drive, and then back a few days later. It was
oh my God, did he rag you? Did he mention me? He might have been.
He may have, yeah. We talked a lot about. We did the podcast.
Did he say bad things?
We did the podcast in the vehicle, so you can hear it. That's the kind of thing I do, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
You can listen to it, but you know, we were talking about Guy and a few other things, yeah. But I've known Michelle for a number of years, and I guess I don't really, you know, I meet people, they just strike me. I feel like I need to know them a little, you know. So the podcast is a perfect vehicle for that. Because
no, you're very lucky.
You know, I really.
So Ross, I worked for ITA'd for Ross, and I worked on 6 o'clock news as an assistant editor.
Wow.
So I know Ross well.
You know, again, he did again when he did that one about his son some years ago. I had him on the podcast, and I've been doing it for a long time. You know, almost 10 years now. So that's why I keep saying so and so is on and so and so is on. But you know, over time, I'd like to get everybody I've ever wanted to get on, and I like trying to get Allison Anders on for a long time, and she finally agreed. And I wanted, like I say, certain people like Banter Hampton, I've really wanted on for a long time, you know, and it would be so neat to get him. And Luis even also, I have a list of people. I'm telling you, they're both on that list.
Oh my God!
As are you.
You just want me as a chair, not as a filmmaker. See, therein exactly lies the rub. Why I gotta get back in the saddle making films.
Oh well, I support that idea.
Yeah, I need to.
So it sounds like because you lined up all these luminaries on the Zoom residency, that it went off well. Because
honestly, they loved it.
You probably had to throw together.
I mean, I'm still getting students emailing me, thanking me, and saying they feel so inspired. And
yes,
you know, it was also, we created a vibe of just, you know, like a good community supportive vibe.
Yes.
So I think it just felt like this incredible antidote to just the horror outside.
Yeah, and it's a lot more. It's been a couple of weeks, so it's or a week or so, right? No, 2 weeks since that.
Yeah, and we still and like we still did our sweet graduation ceremony, and
nice.
And so I use that to our advantage as well. It's like a couple graduates popped in. One made a short little film that I played, kind of where she had been rereading the hero's journey, and she talked about the parts of that she thought were helpful, but like with cute animations, and it was adorable. And we had a really amazing group of graduating students. One of our students who just graduated was Alec Hopkin, who made Cunningham, the 3D film about Merce Cunningham that was at the New York Film Festival.
Yes.
So she graduated, and we had Damon Davis graduate, who was was a co-director on Whose Streets about Ferguson.
Right, I saw that. Yeah.
And he's super talented, and I mean, it was just like, it was amazing. I have to say, I was pretty proud of myself, if you must know.
So now you actually don't need to do anything, because the next residency wouldn't be until the end of the year. Yeah,
it's always October. Last week in October, last week in April.
Okay, so it's not that far off. So what is the plan to do another similar, that maybe more prepared, because you'll have more time to do?
Well, you know, they're not committing to whether it's residential or virtual right now.
Okay. Right.
But you know,
think they'll know?
I don't know. I mean, I think that they can afford to kind of play it a little more by ear than other institutions.
Definitely.
No, sweetie.
Because they're not doing.
Daddy just walked in.
Mommy, if you want me to do French.
Are you going to really do French?
Jasper. Pardon.
Adam has something to say to you.
Mon petit cœur.
What?
Ça va, monsieur, ça va.
Bien, et toi?
Merci bien, merci bien. Merci bien.
I get a break
S'il vous plaît, Scramola.
I just heard scramble.
My kid,
That's not French, Adam.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong. Hey, my kid has been taking French for years. He will not say anything to me in French. I mean, it's that kind of, I don't know. He doesn't like it. I speak, I can speak just enough French, as you heard, scramola, just to get myself into trouble. I just had on this French filmmaker. He's always done like the making of type of documentary, but he's making a lot of money because he works for Steven Spielberg. But he just did that Natalie Wood documentary on HBO. His name is Laurent Bougereau. And it's very funny, the opening part of the episode, because he talks, he's the whole thing about, the American version of his name and everything else. It was kind of funny. He was a funny guest.
So Adam, when
Okay.
do you think you're gonna leave?
It would be July. I have to close down this apartment, get rid of everything, figure out what I'm doing with everything. It's a nightmare. It's filled with furniture and my dad and my mother's things, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do with everything. I don't want to get a storage room, but I don't know that I'll have a choice. I might have to just break down and do that for a couple of months or a few months. But you know how that always turns into then renting an apartment for your things.
No, I
don't want to do it, but I don't know.
I know.
I may need a storage space.
I have stuff in New Jersey.
I did too.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, but even that isn't cheap anymore.
I know.
Where in New Jersey is it?
It's far.
Don't say Hazlitt.
I don't know where the hell it is. I've never seen it. Everything was just taken from my parents' house in Michigan.
I see. Oh, Michigan.
Right there, antiques, rugs, all this shit. It's like still psychologically like weighs on me.
Yeah, no, I know. It's it's no way to live.
It's like A, I'm paying for it. B, I don't even know if like it's been infested with vermin or like what the fuck state it's in.
I'm sure it's fine.
But
everything goes down.
But it's too nice to just throw out. Like it's expensive, nice stuff, so I can't just get rid of. Like I'm stuck. I have to contend with it.
Yeah.
And yet I have no place to put it because.
So maybe you don't mind if I put my stuff in there, though. Is that what you're saying? You don't.
I would love to share the burden and the cost. Believe me.
No, I know.
Look, I'm going to show you how small my apartment is. See? You're going to see? That's my bed.
That's a beautiful bed, though.
Right? Now, if I had a bigger apartment, I wouldn't need to be Zooming people with my bed behind me, would I? No.
And here's mine.
I have very nice sheets. And some nice artwork on the walls, See, my friend Gina did that vine on the wall. See that vine?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, she does stuff on Mylar. Oh my God. What the hell? That is totally weird. The virtual background thing, people were going kind of crazy with that in the residency. And it was very funny. What'd you say?
This is when I was a kid, my summer camp. This was the barn at my summer camp when I was a kid.
What camp was it?
It's called Camp Thoreau.
Where?
Right outside of New Paltz, New York, in a town called Walkill, which was going to be the original location for Woodstock. But the people in the town got a collective hissy fit, and they threw out Michael... what's his name? Michael Lang and those guys, and who I have also his number, by the way. I'm supposed to call him because I was at.
You're a little bit like Tom Powers. You're like the guy who's everyone, you've seen everything, you're everywhere. Right?
Yeah, but Tom Powers makes money. Well, he's got the probably the very nice place in Montclair. He's got like 4 or 5 festivals that he, even if he's just the pretend executive director, but the guy's got TIFF wrapped up, the whole document. I mean, he's very powerful, So
I know. Can I just say,
I'm friendly. I'm very friendly with him at Doc NYC.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't know how I missed the whole memo about trying to make money.
Yeah.
Sort of didn't get that memo.
I know.
Is it too late?
Yes. Well, you have your child to exploit.
He's making money.
Yeah, and he's very, very beautiful and smart. So, just don't let him know that you have every intention of stealing his money. Like the Culkin family, right? There's like 40 kids in that family. I don't know. None of them like their parents, apparently. So, got to be careful.
No, I'm only doing it like until it's not good,
Yeah. Well, it's.
But so far he's been in 3 musicals, and they were all incredible experiences.
They can sing, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I started it, because of the singing.
Oh, like a lot of kids can't really sing, even though they can.
Yeah.
Sort of
no, I wouldn't have pursued it otherwise.
Some kids are natural, like they can actually know if they can avoid being flat. Like a lot of kids just sing, but they're flat. They don't know how to hit the notes. They don't have the vocal control. But there are these freaks,
He's one.
Yeah. Like I actually, when I was a kid, could always sing, but now even though I've decent control over my voice, I can't really, I have a very narrow range where it's
Me
more.
too.
I'm very musical, but I know better now, No, I know, because I'll listen to, I post these songs to the camp, and then I was also a counselor, but the camp had moved up to Vermont by then, and no photo for that at the moment. But and I led singing. I brought a lot of songs to camp, and now we're on Facebook, and I post songs up there. It's fun. But I listen to myself afterwards, and I'm like, oh my God, that's grating as hell. I'm like,
wait, so is it still called?
It feels good
exactly.
in my head, but once I hear it, it's like,
right. No, I know exactly, because I have the same thing. Like, yeah, I can hear it, but I can't do it.
Right.
I have the ear, but not the ability.
Right, but people people like it, but I think the bar is pretty low. I'm not even saying that in a self-deprecating way. I really do feel like I could probably sing off key. I don't think they would care that much, because I provide a nostalgic experience for them. I'm like an oldie show. Like an old.
Okay, wait. So is this camp something great? This Camp Thoreau?
Yeah, the best camp ever existed.
Wait, because I'm in need of a camp.
Well, it doesn't exist anymore, sadly.
What?
Yeah, they closed out. But my son went to a camp. I mean, there are a lot of wonderful camps still out there. They're just very expensive, But there are camps with similar. My camp is a very, very lefty, very progressive, the history of it. As a matter of fact, I just found these interviews I did. This is years before I did a podcast. I apparently knew I was going to end up interviewing. I interviewed the camp director and the owner, founder of the camp. And, they were both living upstate, and I visited them on the same weekend. And I got the oral history of the camp, and for posterity. And it's on our Facebook group. I can make that available.
That's so cool. Where does he go now instead?
My kid had been going to, he's now too old. I don't think he's going to, and there's no camp this summer, so I think he's done until they reopen camps again. But he went to a camp which was associated with the Waldorf schools, because my son went there for a while. And it was called Camp Glenbrook, and it's located outside Keene, New Hampshire, in a town called Marlborough, New Hampshire. And I went up there last summer with his mother to pick him up, and we drove up there together. And it's a lovely place, and the counselors were fantastic. The whole place reminded me of my camp. I mean, they generally do the similar things. They have similar kind of structure. They ring a bell at things. They have certain similar activities, but it's the philosophy and the intimacy that was created in my camp, which really helped raise me. It was it really informed me and made me contributed to who I am and my values. Whereas,
oh my God, you're killing me.
My parents were anti-Semites,
Your
kidding.
Parents were?
No, I'm kidding. No, they were not.
All right, listen, Adam, what else do you need or want to know? Because I want you to
follow up if I have any questions. But
follow up with questions.
Okay.
And and stay in touch.
All right, I will, and I'll send you the audio. And if you like it, we can post it at some point, because there's some good stuff in there about film and our failures.
Your failures, Adam.
Mostly mine.
I've had nothing but success.
You're an HBO documentary success.
Thank you. All right. Well, listen. So I can also put you in touch with Hampton and Louis.
Oh, that would be really something. And I can provide, like, I know a lot of people that, like, especially Louis worked with, and, you know, like Betty Gordon's done my show. A lot of people have done my show that I'm sure he would be very confident that it would be a positive experience.
Okay. All right. So,
thank you.
Yeah. If there's any, should I just do it, or should I, like, do you want to give me something to forward? What do you think's best?
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe I will. I don't know your relationship.
They're both casual and friends, so I wouldn't worry.
You could just say, you know, he's worked with, you know, people, both of them. Like Michael Almerida's done my show. So
Michael and Hampton are good friends.
Right. And Michael's done the podcast, and Michael knows me. So he could vouch for me.
Okay.
And,
all right. Don't worry. I'll just email it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so. If they want something, I can certainly, you know, if you tell them it's Filmwax Radio, they can Google it too, you know.
Yeah. They're not really like that, either of them. They're just kind of regular people.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, Adam. So nice chatting. Oh, is that your son? I want to see him. Hi. How's it going?
I'm good.
This is hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bummer, man. It's a bummer.
Your son was, anyway, I'll tell him later.
Okay.
All right, Nina, have a good evening.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. You too.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.